I didn't know they could do this in Star Wars.
I think this is where Star Wars excels because even when they niche down and they focus on the Mandalorian and Grogu, or they just focus on what happened here with like Cassian and that whole team, I think that's where they're excelling.
Welcome back to the SkyTie Council. The council is in session. We are back after a very long hiatus. Actually, I don't even remember the last thing we did.
I don't remember either.
I think it was Star Wars, really, was it?
Was it?
I don't remember.
Seems like something we would do.
Well, we did Choptibus, and then we did something after that. I don't remember what it was.
I just remember fighting with the bros about Choptibus.
I think we did a
You
top
guys
10.
suck sometimes.
I think we did a top 10.
Oh, I think so too.
I forget what it was.
Okay, but anyways, we're back today and we're talking about Andor because very exciting. We finally watched it, and I think both of us are in agreement that it is quite possibly the best Star Wars content to come out ever.
I don't think we're exaggerating. Like, literally, I truly mean that this was the best Star Wars stuff I have ever seen.
In Dave Filoni's Star Wars universe, we are exaggerating.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
I mean, we'll see. That news just came out yesterday that he didn't like it, but that just might be hearsay, so believe
Whatever.
it when I see it.
Oh,
and Kathleen Kennedy stepped down, so in other news.
so Tyler can stop raging.
So we can get to brass tacks here. No, I think Andor was 100% one of the best, not only Star Wars, like it's not just good Star Wars, it's just a good damn show in general. Mm-hmm. And I have said this, I've commented on like a bunch of TikToks of people are like, what'd you think of the show? I put it up there with Breaking Bad, Penguin, The Crown, Mandalorian season 1 and 2. Like,
I didn't know The Crown was like up in your list.
I think because it's so well done. I learned more about history of like England and the UK in that show than I did probably all through school.
Yeah, The Crown is one of my favorite shows.
It's really good.
I liked it. Yeah, I mean, absolutely no exaggeration. I think that it is the best Star Wars content, and I think it could have been an independent show, but when you like, you're able to cut out so much other stuff if you just take that story and you place it in the Star Wars universe, because like we have the context, we know what's going on, we know the Empire's bad,
Right.
but gosh, and I also think too, without like going over a deep ends, like it's also a very important show. I'm glad that we watched it, but I guess so we're late to the game. We had never
It
even
came out
seen
7 months ago, so
Right.
we're a little late.
But season 1 came out when?
2 years ago. So.
Yeah. So we're a little late to that game. And just so you know, this pod was supposed to be like, we were like, oh, we'll do season 1 as a part 1, and then we'll watch season 2 and we'll come back and we do another part. We could not turn the show off. We were always just like, one more episode, one more. And we were watching it into the night, which to get Tyler to stay up past like 9 p.m. throughout the week, it must be a pretty damn good show.
It's really good. I just couldn't believe how well everything just boils down to the nitty gritty. It's regular people. Mm-hmm. There's no like too crazy like Force stuff. It's mentioned, but it's regular people.
It's the writing is some of the best writing. Like there's no lightsabers in the show.
No, and that's okay.
If you take the speeches that are given,
some of the best.
Absolutely insane.
Truly.
Absolutely crazy. Ugh. It was one of those shows that I couldn't believe we were getting to watch it. Like, I was like, I can't believe I'm seeing this right now. And I can't believe Disney allowed half that crap.
Well, I think that was one of the things Tony Gilroy said was, okay, well, if you guys are going to do this, this is how I would do it. Yeah. And he said, well, how would you start? Oh, I'd have our main character go in a brothel with 2 cops and shoot them within 7 minutes.
I know, there's like a hologram of like
like basically like
a spicy accountant.
Dancing.
No, you can't call them that.
Well, that's what it kind of looks like.
A midnight ballerina hologram.
But it's like, and then Tony pitched that to Disney, and they're like, "Is that okay?" And they said, "Sure." And I think that's when he said, "Okay, now I know what I can do. Yeah. Like I can make this pretty serious, and this is how I would do it."
Right, but I just like, even I'm thinking about Mon Mothma's speech in season 2 in front of the entire like the Senate, like the Galactic Senate. That speech is so important.
It's perfectly written to all of politics in general. We don't talk
Yeah,
politics on here, but it's literally pretty much exactly what is going on today. It is perfectly done.
I know.
And I think one of the other things Tony Gilroy said was, okay, so all the stuff you see in like episode one, two, and three of like regular Star Wars,
Hmm.
it's very like prestigious. Like you're seeing like kings and queens and politicians. This is like the nice stuff of Star Wars. He said that that was made in the dining room, but this show was made in the kitchen to basically say like
Oh, I love
it's
that.
the nitty gritty. Like we're making the stuff here. This is all the workers, the people that have their own little communities. Like it's
Yeah.
incredibly done.
Yeah.
I would also say this is up there with Game of Thrones. I forgot to mention that. Like I think that is one of the best ways to relate it, especially at the beginning when they're flopping to different like settings. Like okay,
Hmm.
we're on different planets, or with the ISB, or it's very clearly you can tell lighting wise, coloring wise, we're on a different planet.
Yeah.
And you know where you are just based on like the coloring and the shots that they portray because that was what Game of Thrones did so well. When you're going to all these different like towns and areas, it's like how can you tell that you're in the Red Keep because everything's orange and
Yeah.
like pretty, and then how do you know you're in Winterfell because everything's cold and everybody looks miserable? Like
Yeah. You know,
they,
you're with Mon Mothma because everything's like geometric.
yes, and
All the
like her
there's a ton of
house,
archways.
her
I
house
was
is so
watching.
sweet.
Yeah, when we were watching, I was like, I'm gonna redecorate this whole fucking house.
It was so cool. Like everything was kind of Asian-ish, but like with like a mountain kind of feel.
I loved
It
it.
was really cool.
Such a well done show, and I hate to think that like maybe we don't see something like that again because I think this did stretch the boundaries of like what Star Wars can be in a sense, and it's definitely more adult. And we actually had like before we started, watching it, the last time we went to Disney and we were in Star Wars lands area and we were at Oga's Cantina, right? We
Yeah.
were at Oga's Cantina. We were standing and there were two men that we got to talk to and they were super great. And I think they thought I was kind of a poser because I had
Your Empire
a Star
Strikes
Wars
Back.
shirt on. They're like, "What's your favorite Star Wars?" And I was like, "Oh, I like Empire Strikes Back, or I like A New Hope, or whatever." And I think that they just didn't, whatever. But they were talking to us and they said, "Have you guys watched Andor?"
We said no, of
Because
course not.
I think before that we said we like a little bit more adult Star Wars stuff. They said, "Have you watched Andor?" And we were like, "No." I'm like, you have to, like,
Yeah,
you have to watch Andor. You guys are gonna absolutely love it. And I think about them
a
when
lot.
we were watching that show. I was like, "Dang, those two guys, they got it."
And we were, I forget the last time we like saw my mom, and she was like, "How far are you on Andor?" It's like we haven't even started watching it. She's like, "I'm halfway through season two. I love it." I was like,
You were like, my
"My
mom can't be
mother's watching
Star
this," and it's
Wars.
like,
I'm not.
I gotta get in."
Yeah,
I think that's where I was like, "We gotta sit down. We gotta watch this." It was just so perfect.
yeah. I think my favorite part of it too. I think you may have already mentioned it, but it's a very normal people. Star Wars has always been about you can, get super we don't get super political, but if you want to, you can. But at its base, Star Wars has always been about control, like government control versus like
Like
personal freedom.
oppression and
Yeah,
yeah.
like whatever. And so to see the side that isn't, you know, the most capable people, but have them become capable of making an impact and making a difference, just absolutely crazy.
And I think that was one of the other things was you empathize. Did I say that empathize?
Hmm.
You empathize even with every single character.
Yeah.
Like you may not love Dedra, but you see from her perspective on a lot of stuff, and it's really interesting to watch like
Yeah.
how it all kind of transpires because it's
We
so
love
similar to
Dedra.
corporate America to
Yes.
me. And like when I see how they're trying to like one up each other, I sit there and I go, man, Skylar does a lot of that
Yeah.
stuff. Like it's so interesting that that's what it's like.
It's a lot to like to reckon with. And you'll have the people that say like you can't, sympathize with or empathize with like anyone that's on the side of the empire. But when you look at someone like Dedra and it's like, okay, she grew
Came
up
from
in this
nothing. Yeah.
system and didn't have she's basically like nature versus nurture personified in the show. And you feel for somebody that grew up in this oppressive system, and like how could she be anything different? She doesn't know
Right.
anything different. And I also thought she was just like funny as hell when
Yeah.
she um
Cold.
was talking to Cyril's mom and was
Yeah.
like, I have a different way that this is going to go down, but when I say it like that, it makes it seem like it's optional and it's not. Like
Yeah,
I was
it
like,
was so
oh
funny.
shoot. It was like just looking in a mirror a little bit and I was like, oh my God.
Like Cyril like laying on the on his
Just
bed.
laying
And
on the book.
it's like, oh my God. It was, I mean, even his character, you almost like feel for him because
He's
he's
such a little twerp, you
he
know?
is, but
But
he's trying to do
you
the
know
right
someone
thing.
like that.
Yes. And
Like
you've worked with that person, you've like seen them, spoken to them.
he gets a compliment from his boss and he's like, this is the
That,
greatest day of
yeah,
my life. He's basically like kind of like Dwight Schrute
a little bit. Yeah.
in Star Wars.
He's like, you met that person before.
Yeah,
You know that person.
for
It's
sure.
so interesting. And I think him trying to do the right thing, even at the end, like he really realistically wasn't a bad guy at the end. Like he puts the gun down on Cassian
Yeah.
and he couldn't believe that Dedra was going through to basically massacre all these people. And
He
he's
just
like, that's not
realized
right,
too late. And, you know, like
unfortunately.
it goes back to, I think, Mon Mothma's speech where she says, like, the monster that we're feeding is coming for us all. He fed the monster for
Yep.
way too long. Yeah, like the last 5 minutes of your life, like whoop-de-doo, you finally like got a clue, but it comes for everybody.
Yeah.
It doesn't discriminate.
It was, his arc was good. Her arc was great. Like everybody has this big change. And it was so well done in those
And
aspects
Dedra
too.
did get like, I guess, you know, what was coming to her in a
Unfortunately.
sense, if you're
She kept trying to go after
judging.
Luthen, and I think that eventually bit her in the
Yeah,
butt.
but she
She
ends
didn't want to
up
let
in the
it go.
she's
Yeah,
building
the Death
the Death
Star.
Star. And it's
It's
like,
like, why did you do
you
that?
thought, because everybody thinks that they're above it. And again, like I do sympathize for her because, like I said, she grew up in it, doesn't know any better or whatever. But you're like, the monster is hungry and doesn't discriminate when it comes to food. Like you'll get gobbled up just as quickly as you think you're helping it.
And just Luthen's character, Bootstrap Bill. I mean, Stellan Skarsgård is so good in that too. That was
He's
super
really
surprising.
an incredible actor.
He is.
The performance that he gave for Luthen, I think, was like a masterclass in acting.
Yeah.
The speech that he gave, I don't
It's-
like where he's like,
the-
"You'll stay with me, Lonnie."
yeah.
That speech,
It's one of the best
his
monologues.
face does all the acting, which like obviously he's an actor like shit, but he barely like moves. It's all just the littlest. I've rewatched it like 10 times. It's all the littlest minute movements. Like his range of going from you know, so what do I sacrifice? And then like yelling everything, like that's the biggest jump his face makes.
Right, because I think in acting, it's if you're doing too many movements and your face and eyes are moving all over, you don't take them seriously. When
Yeah.
someone is dead on staring you and telling you something,
Michael, who said that?
Michael Caine,
Yeah, Michael Caine.
and it's just like you listen to them because they're not going to blink and they're being extremely deliberate, and that's what makes
It's
it
like
so good.
I always wanted to be an actress, but I blink a lot.
I don't
Because I
think
wear
you do.
contacts, they dry out.
Well, I don't think you like that much.
I blink a lot. I could never do. If you watch like Leo DiCaprio when he's acting, he's like not blinking. Or who do I notice with? I noticed it with Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah,
In
probably.
Iron Man. He does not blink, and I'm like, dude.
Well, or be like Kristen Stewart and fumbling. That's Twilight.
Wait, ready?
Yeah. But
What do you have written down? Like,
okay,
what
sorry.
did you?
We're not even gonna get very far.
I
No,
know.
we're
I
15
wanna
minutes
talk
in.
about
We're
what
good.
you wanna talk about.
Okay. No, totally. Okay. I guess I'll try and get back. We said the monologues and speeches were so good.
Yeah. Incredible.
I do feel bad that this now that we've seen peak Star Wars, how do you even top this? Because I feel like it almost hurt Star Wars because it was so good. So now I'm worried.
But it's in a different class.
Realm, basically. It's like this is something else.
The
man.
rest of Star
This
Wars
is
also doesn't have the luxury of like knowing where it ends up
sure.
in a sense.
And I think the best way to describe it is like it's like The Dark Knight. The Dark Knight is not just a DC movie. That's just a good fucking movie in general.
Yeah, it just happens to be a super.
It's just like
It's like this is just a good show, and then
it happens to be
God,
in
you guys,
Star Wars.
we haven't even talked about Rogue One, and
I know we haven't even gotten there. Might have
When
to
we
get a
sat
drink or
down
two in.
to film this, Tyler was like, "Do you want to ruin your day?" I was, yeah,
We'll get
just
there.
so upset.
We'll get
Okay,
there.
keep going.
Visually, it's one of the best shows I've ever seen. I immediately wanted to go and just say, what are they shooting on? What are the aspects and all the technical stuff? I won't bore you with it, but it was just it's perfect. And Greg Fraser, who did
They might want to
Rogue
be bored.
One,
You didn't ask them if they wanted to be bored.
you guys are probably bored. So how Greg Fraser shot Rogue One was, I mean, it looked exactly the same, if not better, in this show. I thought it was perfectly well done. The arcs, the backstories, all the lore. There's a lot of speaking parts, but there's not one in there that isn't worth your time.
Hmm.
Like everybody that spoke did such a good job. There wasn't a bad actor, bad actress in anything. Very similar to how I would say Game of Thrones. Like
Yeah.
you empathize with every single character, whether they're bad or good or gray, however you want to call it.
Hmm.
I loved all the different cultures, like how each planet has their own little shtick, basically.
Yeah.
And we got to learn about all the different communities and how they're built up. Like in Gorman, you got to see like their economy and like how
Yeah, like
they
when's the last
work.
time you thought about like how are all these clothes in Star Wars being
Right. And it
made?
was just like, that's just little backstory
It's
stuff
like,
that
oh, is
you,
there textile industry
it's just,
over on Gorman?
it's perfect. And then it all makes sense. And then you see the sets they built for it. And it was, damn. And like the whole wedding stuff was awesome too. And like
Yeah.
the last thing I want to watch is wedding stuff. But damn, it was really well done. It was
Yeah.
so good. Like I didn't know this is where Star Wars could go. I didn't know they could do this
Hmm.
in Star Wars. I think that was my biggest like they can do this. You can make Star Wars this. And
Yeah.
that blew me away. It's like I love the Force and lightsaber duels and stuff. That's great. It's awesome. But this was just something else.
Hmm.
How would you think on like that? Because did you ever expect yourself to watch 24 hours of
No.
that? Like,
Um, I'm so glad I did, but no, I guess I think this is where Star Wars excels because even when they niche down and they focus on The Mandalorian,
mhm.
like, because I think that we could look at the movies and say, that's like the source material, like, that's from point A to point B. That's the overarching thing that's happened. And that's how you like establish yourself on the timeline. But when they niche down and they just focus on the Mandalorian and Grogu, or they just focus on what happened here with like Cassian and that whole team, I think that's where they're excelling.
They succeed extremely well when they make it just
Like,
a
let's
little
like
more
narrow
pinhole.
it down.
Yes.
Obi-Wan, I thought was great. Ahsoka was great. We really have enjoyed the special projects, I guess, essentially. Like, I think if they tomorrow unleashed, like, unless it was directed by this guy,
Oh,
I
Tony
would sign
Gilroy.
up. I would be in line.
And
But I think if they announced, like, we're going to do another trilogy, I would kind of be like a little bit skeptical. I would obviously still go see it,
there's
but
supposedly, I don't know who's doing it, but
another trilogy.
yeah. But I feel like there's a lot up in the air on that, but I would pay a lot to watch more from Tony Gilroy.
I won't say that Andor was better than the prequels, but it was a million times better than the sequels.
Oh, yeah. Like, yeah, tremendously.
Yeah.
I think we're also nostalgic to the prequels because that's what we grew up with. But I didn't know this was missing in my life. So now it's hard to like
Yeah.
put that together and go, damn, where do I rank that? It's top three minimum.
I think it's like it definitely displaced Mandalorian for me. It's like number one for if you want to call it like
Sure.
special project or like a show. Like
Yeah.
it's my number one show in the
Disney
Star
Plus
Wars
stuff.
universe.
Yeah.
But I don't know where I would put it with the movies, but
I would rank it really high.
I
Probably
just
one or
think
two.
like writing wise, like the guy obviously storyboarded the shit out.
Well,
And
the
like
thing
who
is,
else in Star Wars has like done that besides
there were several writers, but Tony, his brother, and I think there was two or three others. But he does this weird concept that I've never heard of anybody doing this. He works with the set director or the set designer. So they build the set first so that there's something that's tangible and real and solid. And he writes around like this table. You're sitting there, I'm sitting here. they're this far apart. Like the scripts are detailed based on some place that's actually there. So they work almost like backwards in a way by building the set first and then writing, which I thought was so interesting. And it makes a lot of sense too
Interesting.
to
Give me
be
10
like,
more of them little bitches right now.
right? And it's like, okay, so everybody like he writes based on where they're going and where they are. And that I'm not a writer by any means, but
Yeah.
I thought that was so interesting. It's like, yeah, that totally makes sense to me.
I
Why
can
not
see
do
how that's
that?
like backwards, but I liked it.
I loved it. To get on specifics, I thought one of the best examples of show don't tell that we've ever seen was the flashback with Clea and Luthen and seeing their backstory. That whole episode, like being dedicated to like just the two of them,
Yeah.
was chef kiss perfect.
Do you know what
Like,
episode number that
I think
was?
that's the second to last one, I
So
think.
yeah,
It's right before Luthen
Clea
fights
really
it.
like steals, I think, a lot of season two.
Yeah, the endings, it's like, wow, she
And
was good.
I remember asking you, like, I'm like, so what's the relationship? Like, are they like related? Like, how do this?
I
And
was like, I don't know.
I bet so many people at the time were like curious how they, just fell in line together to not tell us that until like the second last or third to last episode or whatever is
Hmm.
like crazy good story writing, I think.
And what we were saying after that episode was like in today's like some of the Netflix shows or stuff, they could have Luthen could have just passed by Cassie and been like, "Oh, I picked her up when I was working for the Imperial Army and grabbed her and saved her." They could have just did that. Instead, they put this entire sequence of her hiding from Luthen and not a word is spoken. You're basically just viewing from her perspective,
Yeah.
and it's perfectly well done.
Hmm.
Because, and I think that's what it's supposed to be. That's literally show don't tell,
Yeah.
and we don't get enough of that. And I think that's such a shame.
Yeah. They
But
could have even like they didn't have to give us any visual for that. They could have just had it be like a another character ask the question of like, how did you know each other? And then like they
right,
could have just told. But like what you're saying, that's what's so good is they're like, no, we are gonna take 10 minutes probably
yeah, I think it
of the
was.
show, maybe less, and we're going to show you the history.
And why she is the way she is. It's like
Hmm.
because she's like the fighter. She's kind of the one in a way, kind of pulling the strings on Luthen. He's the one kind of holding up a few times to
Yeah.
be like, no, now's not the time. She's like, no, I want to start screwing with these dudes.
I
Like,
think
let's
that's like,
go.
yeah, but she's so incredible and she's like, this is like all I have. Like remember, I think it's Cassian says something to her about
I want to be done, basically.
yeah, it's the whatever line she says where she's like, "Oh, I don't have that. I have always. Like
Mm.
I have always been a rebel."
Yeah, he's like,
So,
I've done the work. I've done enough. Like, I want to go home. I want to. She's like, oh, you want to go home now?
yeah.
Like, no, this is it. I'm not doing
Pony
anything
up.
else.
Let's go.
Yeah,
We're not done.
that was the actress's very first like time in the screen on screen too. Like for any
Yeah,
project,
she's
which
incredible.
she should get more work. She was incredible. I would almost throw her in a Game of Thrones spinoff or something like that. She was great.
Hmm.
No,
Great character.
we haven't even talked about Cassian really, which is sad because he's one of the best parts of the entire show.
Yeah, because he like
Like
I mean
Diego
like now
Luna is
knowing where
so
he
good.
went like just makes me sad. But
Like I knew how he kind of ended up. Like I know you know where the end is. You know where they're going.
yeah.
But when they put all that perspective and all that backstory, it carries and has so much weight by the time it finishes in Rogue One.
I had never made it to the end of Rogue One because for some reason it's just like a sleepy time movie for me. It was. I could
Sure.
never imagine falling asleep now. But I did know
Lies.
that
Deception.
I knew that everyone like, but Tyler has seen it and said that he's like, yeah, I mean, like I thought it was a good movie, but it never made you like emotional. Really, you were just like, wow, it was great.
No, not really. I remember seeing it with my mom in theaters, like whenever it came out, and I remember by the end of it, we were like, "That was a really good movie." Like I
Yeah.
loved it. It felt exactly like the originals. It's very esque, very the same.
So we watched season one, we watched season two, then we watched Rogue One. I was like in a ball in the corner of our couch, like they killed my boy. Like Cassian is just
Because I haven't seen it in so long. I can't remember the last time I watched it, but it was a straight gut punch, and
no
I
for real.
don't remember it hitting that hard. But knowing where he goes, his journey, how he gets there, it hurt so much.
That hurt.
And we're usually like, you're looking forward to the Darth Vader scene, and I didn't give a shit. I was like, I don't even want to watch that.
Yes.
I was still mourning for my buddy Cassian, man. It
I'm a
hurt.
huge Darth Vader girl, and I had seen all those
It
scenes on
hurt.
like YouTube and edits and stuff. I did not care. I was actually like kind of pissed. I was like, makes you hate Darth Vader like more as a
It's like, I
character.
don't want to see this scene right now. I just lost one of the best characters ever.
Yeah, I was like, this isn't even cool. Like,
Star
it
Wars
is.
Jesus. It was.
I didn't know he went out like that.
Yeah, actually never made it that far.
No. And I would keep like as we were watching, I kept asking you, like, is this person in Rogue One? Like to kind of figure
Yeah,
out like,
and a lot
do
of them
they
are.
live or do they are they no longer with us? Cassian's just, I think he represents like the everyday person that wants that
Wants to make a
sees
difference.
things going wrong in their world and like wants to make a difference, but you're not like incapable, but you might not be the most capable person. And it's like how many there's so many people. I think that just represents so many of us that see stuff that we don't like and want to change it, but we don't know how.
Right.
And I think that's like Luthen is the how. Luthen is the architect of the rebellion, like him and what's his face, the guy. Lies, deceptions.
I think that's Pat's favorite character. Dude's hilarious. No, I think that another thing, it's like, well, Luthen isn't even spoken about, and then you watch like New Hope, and it's you have no idea how
Oh my
they even
gosh.
like got there. It's there's so much that went into this because it's mentioned in New Hope, obviously, to be like, we got these plans. R2D2 brought them in,
That
but
is a
do
gut
you have
punch
any
too.
idea how it got there? It's like how many lives and how
Yes.
much weight is carried in that card to be like, these are the Death Star plans. This is how we got them.
Yeah. And like
You wouldn't believe
having
it.
the series Andor and them like and obviously this came like way
Yeah,
after the originals.
I had
But
no
like
idea.
but him never being mentioned in like any other like Star Wars project sucks because it's like that's somebody that like I care about and
Yeah,
like you guys don't even know him. Like you guys don't there's no like thanks. And it's like have you ever thought about that before inside? Like I probably haven't of like there's the heroes of the movies, but like how many people like us had to like sacrifice so that those heroes could like get their time in the sun?
right.
And yeah, the casting stuff just sucks
And
'cause
I
it's like
think
I care about him.
I think that's why he's become one of my favorite characters. Like this guy's was a nobody, but he did so much to help get the message forward, to get the resistance where it is, and to help
Yeah, like you guys
accomplish their
don't have the
goal.
Death Star plans without him,
No,
but you
and
don't know
but
him.
you don't even recognize him because he didn't exist, which is sad. But it's
Yeah,
like that guy should be memorialized. Same with Luthen and
same
all
with
that.
yeah,
It's like they
exactly.
deserve it. Well, just because you didn't like him, like, oh, I'm sorry. No, I think that was another thing that was pissing me off in one of the last episodes when the resistance people are like, we don't even really like Luthen. It's like, are you kidding me? He built basically where you guys are standing.
Yeah, I think that's like where the line where he said where he's gonna kill Mon Mothma's friend.
Oh yeah.
He goes like, I don't even know what you're talking about. And he's, oh, how nice for you. It's like, yeah, they probably don't either know him or like him because rebellion's messy. Like you have to do terrible things,
Hmm.
and he's always like, I love Luthen. He's one of the only characters that like that had what it took. Like Mon without Luthen driving it and doing those terrible things that like no one else wanted to get their hands dirty with and like making like remember he sacrificed he was gonna sacrifice was it Scar was his name? What's the guy's name? Why deceptions? What's his name?
Come back.
Saw.
Sorry. Sorry.
He's like, yeah, like this shit's messy. Like I have to make calls that nobody else wants to make. He's the
Right.
only one that like has the
That's
guts to
willing to
do
do
it.
it.
Yeah.
Same with when Cassian came back from Gorman. He's like, this is ridiculous. These people, they can't fight. They can't do anything. They'll be sitting ducks out there. He's like, and it will burn. It will burn brightly.
Yeah,
And it's
exactly.
like, because that's what he needs. He needs the chaos and all that to happen in order for shit to start rolling,
So
which is
yeah, you
sad.
don't like me, but like
I'm the only one
I'm the
really
only one
pulling to
making the
pull the
calls
strings.
that need to be made,
Right. Which
which
is
is
messed
really
up.
unfortunate. And like,
It's
yeah,
messed up. But that's where
it's
you
messed up, but you have
but
to.
that's good discussion. That's just good writing because then you sit and talk to each other and think, was this right? Is this
Could I
wrong? Is
could
it
who
right?
else could do that?
Probably not, but is it in the grand scheme of the big picture? It needs to happen. So it's
Yeah.
how how do you decide what's morally right then?
Mm-hmm.
You don't.
You need Luthen. There's no way to do it without him. And again,
No.
he'll never be mentioned and like it just sucks. They'll just never get their light of day.
No, and I think that's what's so sad. It's like those people will never be mentioned in the Star Wars canon because
Yeah.
they weren't there.
If you guys want to listen to a really good song from the soundtrack or soundtrack people, you probably already heard it, but it's called Past, Present, Future.
Hmm.
And when that music's playing and like that scene of Cassian like walking to the ship and getting on and like he doesn't know,
What he's about to do.
but I think he's like okay with it. He's like, if I die, like I'm, obviously okay with it. It's like for the rebellion, like cool. But he's such like he doesn't know that he has a son or
Hmm.
a child of some
Right.
sort, like, and he's just walking to his destiny, which is to die for the rebellion
Right.
and not be remembered. And I think that sucks.
I think that's another reason why that the Force healer scene is so well done too, because she basically explains everything about him. Like,
Yeah, and like some hippy dippy code where it's
but
like,
it's like he's a messenger. Like that's the reason for that's his job is to literally guide from A to B to get where they need to go. And it's really sad because that's him. He's the messenger to get it going.
yes. And I want to talk about how Cassian and Clea are just are the same as Luke and Leia. They just don't get the glory or like any of the thanks or
No,
anything. They are
they don't get the medal at the end of the day.
no, they're too obviously like I when they showed his sister again at the end, I was like, oh my God, is Clea his
That's what I
sister?
kept thinking. I think that
And
was a
she's
weird
not.
cut. No, that was
They
a weird
confirmed
cut.
that she's not, but I was like, huh. But the sister in my reading is really just supposed to represent like you gotta let go
Yeah.
of
You'll never find
you'll
her.
like there's some things that you never get closure to and you just gotta keep moving forward or whatever is what I read. Could be wrong, whatever. But they're two children that got swept up in all of this like Empire Rebels, like all that stuff, and yeah, are a part of the resistance. But they are just like Luke and Leia, but like average people, Luke and Leia. They're not a space princess. They're
No,
not
there's
a
no loyalty
Jedi.
or anything like
There's
that.
no like their destiny is the same but different. And yeah, I just think that that's such good writing.
It is. And that's the difference in how good that Star Wars was. And it's such a gut punch. And I think every actor and every character in that show was is worth your time. It's so it's so good.
Got snubbed at the awards I saw. That sucks.
Yeah, and whatever. That's Hollywood. It's just a jerk off sesh. So
I want to touch Yaba.
I want to touch Yaba.
It's the texture.
No, Cassian, like Diego Luna, I wanna see more of him, and I think
I
that's
told
what
you
you
to
and I
watch
Narcos.
Narcos. It
Yeah.
has him
And
and
Pedro
Pedro.
Pascal. So it's like, oh, that sounds great. Like I want to watch that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'd be down.
I think that's probably next on our list. We still gotta watch Stranger Things too, though.
I
But,
still want to watch Peaky Blinders.
yeah, that as well. That movie's coming out too. No, I wouldn't change a thing about Andor. I want to see more of stuff like that. If Tony Gilroy came back, people would flock to watch whatever he made at this point. Unfortunately, it took 6 years of his life to get it done because the first season was during COVID. They wrote it, and it was supposed to be a season like every year, and they were going to do five, basically seasons of it, and they said, no, this is impossible at the
Everyone
rate we're going.
snapped.
They were spending a lot of money, but in my opinion, it's worth everything that you saw. Like, there's nothing in there looked bad at all. Everything
Mhm.
looked so good. And yeah, they probably spent maybe a little bit too much money, but not as far as I'm concerned. I loved it. That was Star Wars. You're supposed to have physical sets. Things are supposed to move. When you touch a button, it does something. Like, that's the point. You're supposed to feel like in a different world, and I think that's
Mhm.
what it should be.
I don't think other projects have lacked that. I think The Mandalorian, like
They did a good job
I
with
was never
that.
taken out of The
No,
Mandalorian. Yeah, I think other projects have like done a good job, but this was like the step above, I
hmm
think. I would really like to see more of that writing and directing.
I'd like to see more of that seriousness of it because
Hmm.
it's perfect. I wouldn't change a thing. And I see
Yeah.
why people rave about it. And if you haven't, you should watch it too because it's really good. Um, I think that's it as far as I have. Let me
All
see.
right, closing thoughts.
Yeah, closing thoughts.
I'm blown away. I still am hurt by the things that happened to my boy. And yeah.
And it sucks knowing that we'll never see those characters probably ever again unless they prequel the prequel of Andor, basically.
No, I hope that they don't. I hope that
And
they
they,
let it stand.
yeah, because it was, I
Yeah,
wouldn't change a thing. It's perfect.
let it stand.
Yeah.
I could see them doing
Maybe with his kid, whether it's a girl or boy, whoever it is, maybe you could pull something there, but I don't know. I wouldn't want to either way. I think it was too good. I think it sucks knowing we'll probably not see Cassian in any Star Wars stuff ever again, which sucks. Because he basically became one of my favorite characters in that show.
yeah.
It was too good.
All right, you guys, thank you so much for watching, and we will see you again on the next pod.
Yeah, well, hopefully it won't be such a long space this time, but we'll let you guys know. I'm sure House of Dragon's probably coming out
I'm
soon.
not doing another episode until I get my roots done.
Oh, that's fair.
Oh, that's fair?
No, I said no. I said that's fair. Like House of Dragons is soon.
No, House of Dragons is not soon.
I thought it's like in
No,
June or July or
I don't think
something.
so. I would
I
love it if it was, but I don't think it
I
is.
would love we should almost challenge ourselves to try and do an episode after each episode. That'd be so tough, but it might be worth it.
Your bedtime again is like
Oh, that's what I'm saying. Well,
9:30
what if we
on a
did it on
weekday.
we used to watch it like the next day too though. So
No, we didn't.
sometimes I feel like we did.
No.
We did with Mandalorian. We would watch it at lunch on Wednesday because it would come out on
No,
Tuesday at
it
like
would come.
10.
It would. Yeah, it would come out at like no Tuesday at like midnight,
Yeah, which is insane.
and we would watch it at lunchtime
Yeah.
on Wednesdays.
Yeah. So that's it from us. Andor was great. It was worth all the hype. 10 out of 10. I don't know what else to say, but it deserves every award possible. It was great. Loved it. But that's all from us on the Sky Tie Council.